Good morning, guys, and welcome to another episode of Bubba's Garage. I hope you guys are having a fabulous day. Guys, today we are on day 3 of our AEV DualSport 2.5-inch lift kit on the 2017 Jeep Wrangler Winter Edition. Day 2, which was yesterday, was installing the front suspension components. Day 1 was the rear suspension components. Today we're going to do the AEV Geometry Correction Brackets on the 2.5. Now keep in mind, the correction brackets are optional on the 2.5 from AEV. They do come standard with the 3.5 and the 4.5 lift kits from AEV. Definitely optional, but here's the thing. The AEV Geometry Correction Brackets will lower the control arms back to their original locations. And the thing is that's going to improve your ride quality, but more importantly, that anti-dive. So what anti-dive is so like if you're rolling down the road and you slam on the brakes and your nose kind of dips down, this is going to put all this back in the factory location. Now, I'm not going to lie. I didn't drive this Jeep long enough like this. I mean, literally, I drove it out in the driveway, and that's about it. So I don't know really what the difference is as far as the ride quality. They say it's a major improvement on the ride quality, which makes total sense. It's putting those control arms back in their original locations. So I'm not really sure. We're going to find out how hard this installation is today. I'm kind of doing it solo. Bobby's kind of gone to the shop, take care of a couple of things. So we're going to cover this the best we can, but it looks like it's going to be another day right here on the Jeep Wrangler Winter Edition. One thing I wanted to note to you is the nice thing about these brackets is the brackets are adjustable. So if you got them for a 2.5 inch, then later on you decided you wanted to go with a 3.5 or a 4, these 3 bolt hole locations right there will actually support any one of their lift kits. So it's really nice that if you decide you want to do an upgrade later on, maybe the 2.5 wasn't for you, you want to go to a 3.5 or a 4.5, you can put that suspension system in and you'll actually be able to reuse these brackets. So that's kind of handy. So right now I'm going to go ahead and get everything out, look over the instructions and see what it is we got to do. But today we're going to be installing these brackets on this Jeep. All right, now that I got the first one taken care of and out of the way, I can kind of give you a little bit of insight on how the passenger side is going to go. Honestly, the first step you're going to want to do is put your brackets together, look over the instructions, and honestly skip past page 1 and go to page 2. It'll give you a better diagram on how these are going to end up being installed on the Jeep. But in the end, this is going to go up into the front of the vehicle, this side here. And this side will go on the back side. This is for your lower control arm down here. Your upper control arm will fit up here depending on if you have the 2.5 inch lift, the 3.5 inch lift for the second slot, and then the 4.5 for the bottom. And honestly, guys, a couple of notes just real quick. Make sure you have some red Loctite on hand because you will need to Loctite 2 of your bolts on the bottom. Highly recommended from the instructions. But in addition, when I dropped those control arms, the front axle slid forward about 2 inches, a lot more than I expected it to. So it was kind of a booger bear moving that back. I ended up using a ratchet strap. So if you don't have any ratchet straps on hand, you might want to think about that or at least do some research. I ended up having to do some research, so it took a little bit longer. Other than that, it wasn't actually that bad. There are some reviews out there that talk about that the bolt up at for the upper control arm, that bolt comes out right at the exhaust, so you might have to wiggle that. This is a 2017 Jeep Wrangler Winter Edition, and I am not having that problem whatsoever. It looks like the bolts are actually put in the other way, so that's working out in my favor. But you never know. We haven't done the passenger side yet. We're going to get started to that right now. So let's see if we run into any problems. Alright guys, the passenger side took about 45 minutes. The driver's side took about 2 hours, probably because I had to do some research to double check myself. I'm no pro, I am Bubba, right here in Bubba's Garage. I'm no mechanic, so I really don't know how to do these things without doing the research and reading the instructions. Hopefully some of the video that I have here today will help speed things along for you. Honestly, I suspect that you can do the entire installation in about 2 hours, so it's really not that bad. Is the correction bracket, is the geometry correction bracket worth it? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sure. I'm going to test it out. We're going to drive it for a little while, and then we'll definitely report back. And guys, keep in mind, we just did the AEV 2.5-inch DualSport XT lift kit on this Jeep Wrangler. That is day 1 and day 2. 1 is the rear, 2 is the front. So definitely check those out. We have a future video coming up really soon. Once we get some miles on this Jeep, I can give you an official review and let you know what I really honestly think about it. Honestly, right now, I don't feel bad about the geometry correction bracket. I mean, it's $100. Done my research, done the reviews, or looked at reviews, and it says that it's well worth it. So I don't feel like that was money wasted, but you never know. So definitely stay tuned right here on Bubba's Garage. We have a day 4 coming up really soon, and that's going to be the brake lines. We're going to replace the brake lines with some extended brake lines. And then I have a surprise coming up in day 5 of this series. So definitely stick around for that, because I believe that is something that this kit could benefit from, just from doing the installation. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So definitely stick around for day 5. Guys, if you like this video, please give me a huge, huge, huge thumbs up. And if you really like this video and you want to stick around and find out what happens next right here on Bubba's Garage, please subscribe. And until next time, we'll see you on the flip side. Good night, everybody.